Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So our Zoom congregation has now joined our sanctuary congregation. It is good to be together. We hope that as the weeks progress, more and more people will feel comfortable entering our sanctuary. Ultimately, our hope is that we'll be in our circle once again as we were so long ago. Right now, we don't sit in the circle because we've learned that when the congregation stands where the cameras are, we can see the backs of your heads and you block the service leaders. But ultimately, we're working on this, and we'll all be able to join together as one in our sanctuary as we used to do so long ago. But once again, I hope it was a healthy week for all of you, and it's good to celebrate Shabbat. I know that Cantor Zell is introducing a new melody for us this evening.
Yes.
And so will you share?
So thanks, Rabbi. So our friend, our colleague, in fact, for one of us, our camper, and for one of us, our mentor, Rabbi Josh Warshawski, just released a new album of Jewish music this week. Can I just see in the sanctuary, has anyone heard it so far? Yes, I see some hands up. Thank you. It's amazing. And he set the words of Lechu Naranana to music. And Lechu Naranana means, come, let us rejoice. So I'm happy to rejoice together with you here in our makom, here on Zoom. Let's first learn this melody as a nigun, and then after candle lighting, we'll join back together with the words of Lechu Naranana. Ryan's going to help us
Part
learn
one,
this.
like this. Yainai, 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 yainai. Just like that, come on. Yainai, 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 yainai. One more time. Yainai, 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 yainai. Part two. Yainai, 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 yainai. From the top, yainai, yainai, yainai,
We'll come back to that melody in just a moment.
And so we continue with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. Now that I'm on, we continue with the lighting of our Shabbat candles, page 128 in the sanctuary. If you're at home, we invite you to light Shabbat candles, and we can see you on Zoom. Let's join together.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat.
And continuing in the sanctuary on page 130, where the words will appear on the screen on Zoom, the words Lechu Naranana, come, let us sing joyously to God.
Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Nari al Sorishenu Nikadma Vanav V'Toda. Nari al Sorishenu Nikadma Vanav V'Toda. Bizmirot Nari alo. Lechu neranena. Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Nari al Sorishenu Nikadma Vanav V'Toda. Nari al Sorishenu Nikadma Vanav V'Toda. Bizmirot Nari alo. Lechu neranena, bring some Shabbat joy. Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Nari al Sorishenu Nikadma Vanav V'Toda. Nari al Sorishenu Nikadma Vanav V'Toda. Bizmirot Nari alo.
Let's keep that beautiful, joyful sound going as we continue with Lechado D on page 138, if you're in Mishkan Tefillah, with the words on your screen.
Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet ve'litila lechadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela
ידברי כבוד אדוני, עלייך נגלה לך טוב, לך אדוני. לקראת כלה בני שבת, נקבלה. יאללה
Shabbat bride.
Oi v'shalom, atzeret bala, gam besimcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala. הולך דודי לקראת כלה, ופני שבת נקבלה. הולך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת פני שבת נקבלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה.
Take a moment just to take a deep breath. Just to breathe in the air that we don't see, that we don't always think about, but the air that connects us all, that fills the space between us. As we take that breath, fill ourselves with that air, we connect to each other, to the divine, to the source of all that is in the world, with the words of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Continue on page 161. Let there be love, let there be understanding. May we all experience the Sukkot Shalom on this Shabbat.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu leshalom, Ve'ha'amidenu, Shomreinu lechayim, Ufros aleinu, Sukat shlomecha,
Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Here we are, another week. I love Friday night because it gives us an opportunity to just press pause. To say, in the time that exists within our lives and all the busyness and the goings and the meetings and the Zooms and the classes and the works and whatever needs to be happening, Shabbat's our pause button. We just get to take a moment to breathe and relax and take notice, take stock, bring awareness to what is going on within each and every one of us. So within that spirit, I invite you to join us. Adonai sevatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. God, open up my lips so I can declare your praise. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and join us on page 164 for the opening of our Amidah. Adonai, sevatai tiftach, v'yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sevatai, Adonai, sevatai tiftach. V'yagid tehilatecha. Open up our lips that we may praise your name. Open up our hearts that we may feel our pain. Open up our souls and let our love make us whole. And we will praise your name, Adonai. Adonai, sevatai tiftach, v'yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, sevatai tiftach, v'yagid tehilatecha. Take a few moments for your own private reflections and meditations.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו amen. Ya la la, ay na 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 na, ay na 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 na, ya na 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 na, ya na 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 na, ya na 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 na. Yose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
Take this moment now to think of our loved ones who are in extra need of Shabbat's wholeness and healing this week. Our loved ones, or even maybe ourselves, who are in need of healing of mind, body, or spirit. So we'll open up the chat room, and here in the sanctuary we'll come around and lift up the names of those you are holding in your hearts this evening.
Let's join together with these words.
מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
May they all know a refuah shlema, a speedy return to wholeness. Together in community, we hold each other in times of need and celebrate each other in times of joy. So we take this moment to acknowledge moments of joy in our community this week. Is there anyone in the room who has celebrated a birthday in the last week? I know we have a very special birthday.
She's raising her hand.
Happy birthday to you. Rabbi Sissenwein had a birthday this week. Any other birthdays in this excellent week?
Noah, wonderful.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Beautiful. If you happen to get married in the best week of the year, as Josh and I did this week a number of years ago, any other anniversaries in the room? Beautiful,
wow.
Happy anniversary. Look at that. That's a great time to get married. And we are also celebrating Bar Mitzvah in our community. Robbie Gately on Zoom and Emily Sonborn here with her family in the sanctuary. Mazal Tov to you. We are celebrating the TBE Music Men's first anniversary. What a year for them. It's been a wonderful time. Any other big moments in our community? Oh, we have a lot of people who are in the room again for the first time in a long time. If this is your first time back in the sanctuary in a while, welcome. Welcome back.
We are so happy to see you back here.
It's good to have you here. It's beautiful to be in this room. There's a lot of energy and so much joy in just being in each other's presence. Beautiful. So we'll gather together with all of our community and sing Shehachianu together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Let's see if we can fill this room.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I realized I did not do a mic check, so let's try that again. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, that's wonderful to hear you in here as well. A few words of Torah this evening about our Torah portion. Each week, as the parent of a kindergartner, I get a little glimpse into my child's classroom through their class blog. A few weeks ago, they were discussing Noah's Ark. And a little girl raised her hand quite confidently during circle time and was called upon by the teacher. She announced, "Remember earlier when I wasn't so calm and you reminded me to match the size of the problem with my reaction?" Yeah? Wow. The teacher encouraged, "How does that connect to what we're discussing?" The little girl continued, "The size of God's reaction was really big. And I think the size of the problem was not." She was referring to God's reaction to destroy the world when the people of Noah's generation were misbehaving. This kindergartner was asking, "Come on, God, why do you have to destroy the whole world just because you didn't like what you saw?" Well, we see a similar dilemma in this week's Torah portion, Vayera. A little backstory so that we are all on the same page. Abraham and Sarah are advanced in age, and they have not yet been able to bear children. I can only imagine this emotional trauma, I would call it, let alone layering on the expectation and the blessing from God that Abraham and his descendants will be as numerous as the stars, and blessed too. So Sarah offers her maidservant, Hagar, to have a child with Abraham, which was not such an uncommon practice to ensure that the progeny would continue through Abraham. Hagar bears Abraham his first son, Ishmael. And then Sarah learns from a prophecy that she will bear a child, and she laughs in disbelief. Vatitzchak Sarah. God remembers Sarah as promised, and she conceives a son, who she and Abraham name Yitzchak, or Isaac. For God brings Sarah tzchok, laughter, and she says, everyone who hears will laugh with me. Yitzchak li. Yitzchak grows, and on the day that he is weaned, Abraham throws a big party. Sarah sees Ishmael, the son whom Hagar had born, and he is playing, mitzachek. Enraged, Sarah essentially says to Abraham, get rid of them. Cast out that slave woman and her son, for that son will not share in the inheritance with my son, Isaac. Whoa, your kindergarten antenna may have gone up. Well, it is no surprise that the situation is triggering or upsetting to Sarah. That's a big reaction. What is going on here? First of all, I have to commend, really, I am in awe of my son's kindergarten friend for her empathy and her sensitivity to raise the question. What is going on with God that God has such a big reaction? And we ask, what is going on with Sarah that she might react with such big, strong feelings too? Our rabbis have the same question. Rabbi Akiva and Rashi, majority opinion scholars, they try to justify Sarah's behavior by saying that Ishmael's playing around is actually a grave sin, that he is partaking in idolatry or sexual aggression or even murderous intent. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, one of our earliest sages, critiques this interpretation. He points to the words that are used when Ishmael is playing around. We remember them, mitzachek. The same root that was used many times before. Sarah vatitzchak, Sarah laughs. And here, Sarah and Abraham name Isaac Yitzchak, after the same root for Sarah, tzachok, laughs. And Yishmael, mitzachek. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, he is joking around. Yishmael is fooling around about the inheritance, saying, I am the eldest, and so I will take a double portion. We see what triggers Sarah. It hits a nerve. Maybe she is so worried, and understandably so, about how she and Abraham are going to pass along their inheritance, and that she has not been the one to bear the oldest son through whom the inheritance will pass. And with all of these human emotions pent up inside of her, and she may not even be aware of them, she snaps. I have a lot of empathy for Sarah. But still, I am curious, just like that kindergartner, if her reaction is bigger than the problem itself. Just like it appears that God's decision to destroy the world and flood the world is an extreme response to the people's sin. What's even more incredible is that these big reactions in these moments, they change or influence the entire course of history. I might compare these biblical narratives to a situation that many of us know: allergies. An allergy is an overreaction of the immune system. A relatively minor, otherwise harmless stimulus, such as a speck of dust, a grain of pollen, animal dander. It is misidentified as a danger to the system. And then the body gears up for a battle as if it is fighting off a deadly infection. Sometimes the symptoms of an allergic reaction can be a nuisance, or they can be highly uncomfortable, or even lethal. In these cases, the immune system turns against the body itself. The same antibodies that normally protect the body start to invade and cause great illness. Like most matters in the physical world, the concept of autoimmunity has a spiritual counterpart. When we overreact and attack another person, we have to realize that they are also a part of us. When we cause harm to others because we have been triggered, we end up doing harm to ourselves too. I am not here to judge whether or not the reactions or the decisions by God and Sarah are justified, nor do I want us to disregard the big human emotions we are feeling in a moment of conflict. They are real and they are painful. And sometimes we face problems so big that a big response feels appropriate. But I am curious about what we do in our everyday moments when big emotions rise up within us. And this doesn't just happen to kindergartners. It happens to all of us. It happens when someone we know at school or work isn't following proper COVID protocol. Or it happens when we believe that our child is not given a fair opportunity. Or when we are disrespected at work by a colleague, when someone cuts us off in traffic, or a family member lets us down or breaks our trust. How do we react in these moments? To lean into our Jewish tradition for some guidance, we don't have to look far. Our ancestors have never had it easy. And it seems that humor has always given us a way to cope. There may be a reason that the word tzechok, laughter, is so prominent in our Torah portion this week. Even though we want to cry out in anger and in pain, the first thing we might have to do is laugh, to notice the irony in our given situation. This is not to minimize our pain or to brush it aside or to cover it up, but rather it is to humble ourselves, to acknowledge that we are human and that part of life is dealing with hardship. It's similar to the tool that allergists use to help us respond to an allergic reaction. We have to slowly get used to the situation, to expose ourselves over and over so that our body can respond in a more reasonable and productive fashion. After we take a deep breath, or laugh, or take a pause, then we must lean in and take a productive action, using the values that are so important to us, to seek support from our community, however we define it, to be compassionate with ourselves and others, to face God and to pray, to focus on a mindfulness practice, and seek resolution that creates a sense of shalom. We may not be able to fix the problem or to change the situation, but our pride, I pray, can come from feeling like we have handled the situation in the menschiest way possible. And it's really not a bad idea to think back to what we have learned in kindergarten. Then we can remember the building blocks that we have in our toolkits to be kind and decent people. We are never too old, and neither were Abraham and Sarah, who neared 100. We are never too old to better ourselves. Shabbat Shalom.
ליבי לפניך, אדוני,
Adonai,
צורי,
Tzuri,
אדוני צורי וגואלי, אדוני
Adonai,
צורי,
Tzuri,
אדוני צורי וגואלי. Go inside your heart, just be.
Go inside your heart and see
What it wants,
what it needs.
what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth,
And
the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you. Oh, my rock, my rock, and my redeemer.
Here, with the support of our community around us, we turn to a moment of memory. We recall those whom we have loved and lost, those whose lives will always be entwined with our own. If you are a mourner in our midst this evening, if you've lost a loved one in Shloshim, if you, in the last 30 days, if you have lost a parent in the last 11 months, the period of Shana, or if it is the Yartzeit, the yearly anniversary of a loved one's passing, please rise where you are so that we can acknowledge you as a mourner. I've also been asked to read the names of Rudolf Hohenberg, the husband of Hannah Hohenberg, Mark Suffren, brother of Cantor Jody Suffren, and Samuel Zell, father of Dr. Brian Zell. Holding all of these names in our heart, we rise in support of the mourners in our community. We turn to page 598 for the words of Mourners Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru.
Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam ulamei amaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei t'kudasha
Brichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen.
Amen.
Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and may we be a comfort to all who are bereaved. Together we can say, Amen.
Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Friends, it is a busy week in our community. We have so many wonderful events coming up. Of particular note in this week, Cantor Zell is going to be teaching T-Bell on Wednesday. Look for the details in your emails. We have TBE Book Club and Ask the Rabbi. Both of those are happening on Wednesday, the 27th. You're going to have to pick between the two because they're at the same time, so yikes. And very, very excited for next Shabbat. Right here, just come back, easy to remember. Duo Montar is coming for an amazing concert on Friday at 8 after services. It promises to be a real treat, so do not miss it. Tons and tons of things going on. Check your emails, you know where to find them. And we will continue sanctifying the seventh day, sanctifying Shabbat, setting it aside and making it a joy with words of Kiddush.
Please rise if you're able. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafe. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh Zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kitashta im kol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon yinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. So we are honored to call forward our bat mitzvah for tomorrow afternoon. Emily Sonneborn, why don't you stand in the middle of the lectern so that we can see you? Put this over here. And it's your job to uncover the challah and to hold it up for us. Ooh. All right, you want to lead us in the blessing and we'll all join in together?
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi
Lechem min haaretz. Amen.
So you get to take a bite if you eat challah, go ahead. And to the rest of you, we say Shabbat Shalom. Our oneg is outside. Let's join together. Shabbat Shalom.
Lai, lai, lai.